Ukip MEP Nigel Farage hit out at the Brussels bloc and said Britain has put a lot on the table in negotiations and has got absolutely nothing guaranteed in return. Appearing on Sky News, Mr. Farage said, "It's a victory if you think paying away a gargantuan sum of money is a good thing, if you think giving foreign courts jurisdiction over this country for nearly up to a decade to come is a good thing." The Brexit divorce bill is estimated to be around the £35 to £40 billion, lower than the original £44 billion estimate. Mr. Farage was enraged about having to pay the EU billions to exit the bloc and said it originally suggested a figure of up to €100 billion to frighten the British. Getty Sky News Nigel Farage said Britain should not pay anything like the sum of money it has offered the EU. "We do not need to be paying anything like this sum of money," Nigel Farage. He said, "That's how the EU have done this, put out a ridiculous figure, frighten the British, get Theresa May to promise 20 in Florence, and up we go." "We do not need to be paying anything like this sum of money. The only reason they want this exorbitant sum is because they have refused to cut any of their future spending programs despite the fact the United Kingdom is leaving." "We should not be paying that sum of money." Mr. Farage wrote on Twitter, "A deal in Brussels is good news for Mrs. May as we can now move on to the next stage of humiliation." Negotiators have now published the full text of the agreement, which Mrs. May said her DUP partners had agreed to back after significant improvements were made. European Council President Donald Tusk demanded the UK obey EU rules during the transition period, including new edicts handed down by Brussels. Speaking from Brussels, Mr. Tusk said, "This morning I received the confirmation from our negotiators that sufficient progress had been made. We should start negotiating the transition deal so people and business have clarity about the situation. The UK has asked for a transition deal of about 2 years. However," he added, "we have our conditions. I propose that during this period the UK will respect the whole of EU law including new law. It will respect budgetary commitments. It will respect judicial oversight. And of course all other commitments." Related articles: Britain will still be paying into EU for decades under terms of deal. Brexit deal sends sterling to 6-month high against Euro. Brexit news: the next steps in the Brexit negotiations with the EU.